Hi, this is Dave Smith. I'm here with Andrew Wharton, and thank you, Andrew, for helping us make this training video. I've been asked to make a training video on testing the 4-gas meter, so the MSA 4-gas meter, and the Sensit meter. So we're going to go through the process of testing each of these, and the testing process for each of these should be done every time we do a truck check. So with that, let's get through the process. The meters are located for the tower in the right rear compartment. You can see them here, middle of the right rear compartment. The meters for the engine are in the officer seat, in the compartment below. The meters for 4-gas meters in the fancy Tupperware container, and the Sensit meter is in the long black sleeve. The rescue. Both of the meters are located back in the crew compartment. You can see where they are, kind of in the middle. All right, so this is the process of calibrating the Sensit meter, and this has to be done each time we do a truck check. So we start off by powering the unit up. So hold the button in, and you'll watch it go through a bit of a setup process each time. And you need to wait until the meter shows 0. Even to use it, it's got to be at 0. So again, the same thing we said about the 4-gas meter. You have to start this up in a clean environment. So you don't want to start it up in the back of one of the trucks or inside of a building when you go to a scene. You want to make sure that you do it in clean air. Okay, so you see the 0 that got reflected. So if you were going to use the meter on a scene, the meter would be ready to go. If you're going to calibrate the meter, you need to let it sit for 5 minutes before you start the process itself. So we're going to let the meter sit for 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back and do the calibration. So let it sit.
5 minutes later.
All right, so the meter is sat for 5 minutes and we're ready to do the calibration. So the first step that you do is you press C, and what you're going to see here is a 0. Hold it until a 0 gets reflected on the screen. Okay? And the next thing you're going to do is press B, and B until you see the word gas. CH4 is what gets displayed. Okay. At this point, you want to take the cylinder and you want to hook up the hose. So just screw the hose on all the way, and then take this capsule and put this on the end of the unit. Okay. So just slide it on. Okay. So it needs to cover all of the slots that are on the end. Once you've got that fully covered, you want to go back and press C to start the calibration. Okay. So now the unit is going to calibrate, and you're just going to see a series of numbers that will be displayed on the unit. And what you're waiting for is the unit to alarm. So once the calibration's done, you're going to see the green light and the red light go on. You're going to see this thing go into alarm. Okay, so now you heard the alarm, and what you want to do is you want to grab on to the end of this, the plastic part of the unit, and you want to slide off the capsule. Being careful not to pull it off the whole unit. If you do, it's not tragic, but okay, now that it's off, the alarm will stop because the gas isn't flowing anymore. And the numbers will just start to count down. And you want to make sure that the numbers count down to 0. Okay, so now it's counted down to 0, and the green light's on, so that means it's passed, so you can power it down. and now it's off. This doesn't have a charging unit. There are 3 C batteries in here. So if for whatever reason this doesn't go through the testing process like it should, you should change the batteries that are in it. There's only one screw that you have to take off, and the screw is right there. Once you pull that screw out, this slides down, and there are 3 C batteries that are inside that can be replaced. You need to take this off. The gas is still leaking out, so you need to take this off of the bottle. These bottles are about $300 each, so if you leave this on here, the bottle will leak out entirely and it'll need to be replaced. So take off the hose, replace the cap, and the unit's done. You're finished.